you ever struggle to get leads for your business? And sometimes you wonder, am I the best kept secret out there? And if you don't get leads, you don't get the opportunity to sell. And if you don't get the opportunity to sell, then guess what? You don't make cash, and your business can only survive if it brings in cash. So I want to give you the thinking tools to get unstuck and ultimately set your business up to attract the most amount of highest qualified paying leads that the internet can provide you with. First things first is you need to actually get clear on your vision. If you don't know why you're in business, if you don't know what you want from your business, then the chances are that you're not going to put up with the day-to-day. When you've got a big vision, you know that flat periods exist. You know why you're doing it. You've got more urgency. And the problem with most entrepreneurs is that they wait for a problem to occur and then they react, rather than constantly having the vision and need to know that they need to be marketing all the time, telling people who they are, what they do, and how they can help them. And if you're not doing that every single day of the week, then the chances are people aren't going to react all of a sudden to a new lead generation tactic. In fact, the leads that you create today come from the marketing that you did last month and the month before. There's always a cycle of people that are seeing your stuff, listening to your stuff, engaging with you, and building a relationship with you. The next thing to look at is your health. So, for example, I help health and fitness coaches grow their businesses along with other health and psychology-based experts. And if you're not in good health, you're not practicing what you're preaching, your energy isn't the best, you don't look the best, and as a result, you just aren't the best, most polished, presentable coach or entrepreneur to be able to run and drive the business. You might find that your energy flags, you might feel that you lack confidence to speak your true voice. There's just a ton of stuff, and if your health is off, your business is going to be off. There's nothing more disruptive than a health problem. The next thing is your beliefs. You may be at a point in business where you have limiting beliefs around money. If you've got limiting beliefs that are ultimately controlling how you market, how you show up, how you deliver to your clients, it's going to disrupt everything. And you actually need to look at fixing these first before you do anything else. The next one is your skills. What got you to where you are now isn't going to get you to where you need to go. The marketplace is always changing. It's always growing. There's always people copying your marketing tactics, trying the same thing. You need to level up your skills in both CEO performance, marketing, sales, customer journey and delivery and retention. On top of that as well, you've also got environment. So if you're moving house, if you're in an office where there's a shit ton of noise, or you're in an environment with shitty people around you, then it's going to be really hard to operate and perform at your best. And that leads me to the last point, is your relationship. One of the most important business decisions you can ever make is who you decide to do life with. And if your relationship is disrupted, then guess what? You're never going to be able to market, sell, deliver, and perform as a CEO to the best of your abilities. So, do you need more leads? Let me look at yourself first. If you were to fix some of these areas, would it allow you to increase your energy, show up better, show up with more certainty in the marketplace to ultimately make people want to buy from you? The next area is delivery. So this is your product, your service, your experience. And here's the first thing that you need to look at is your retention, right? If you sell people into a program and as soon as they join, they leave, guess what? Getting more leads isn't going to fix your problem. In fact, it's going to make things worse because people are going to realize that your service is shit. They're going to leave. They're going to go around and tell everyone. So why are people leaving? Look through your customer journey. Look at where they're leaving and brainstorm with yourself or with your team. How can we make it better? Where are we not providing? Do exit interviews with clients. How did this expectation of being in here meet up with what you were sold to? What was missing? What do you need more of? Where are you going now? Where are you going to spend money to solve this problem? What could we do better? Please help us. Get that feedback. It is invaluable. Number two is your onboarding, right? A lot of people churn because they aren't onboarded properly, whether it's with a product or whether with a service, because their expectations haven't been met or they haven't been told how to properly use the very thing that they've just bought. So onboarding is key, and all churn inside 90 days can be linked back to poor and ineffective onboarding. Model. So I'm a specialist in helping people build amazing coaching businesses in all different niches. And if you've got a model that essentially cripples you, tires you out, burns you out, then you're not going to be able to grow it. So if I asked you a very simple question right now, if you were to double your business, what's the first thing that would break? If the answer is you, then guess what? The model is ineffective. You're not leveraging infrastructure, team, or the right curriculum to be able to coach people. So realize that model is a big, big factor in allowing you to scale and grow. Next piece is then team. So if you've got shitty team members that aren't doing their job, that are pissing clients off, not getting results, then they've got to go, or they've got to be trained, because you're expecting them to know what you know and grow the business. But that is never going to happen. And the last thing that you need to look at is community. So this is more for, well, it's actually for every brand, because people like to hang out with other like-minded people. They like to hang out with people that share similar beliefs and values, and where their voice is heard, where they feel safe in a community. So if you don't have any of these things in place, no matter how many leads that you get, they're never going to stay for a long period of time. And retention is the key to fuck you money and profit. If you keep a client for 2, 3, 4, 5 times more than what you're currently keeping them for, you're going to make a shit ton of money, because people are going to want to stay. People should have FOMO of not using your product and not using your service. So how do you create that? And you create that by looking through all of these areas of a customer journey. Now, the next thing that I want to look at is, I'm going to talk about sales. I'm trying to draw this in my office. There's me with a scar. And try to keep this as clean as possible. And by the way, when it comes to delivery, what are you struggling with the most out of all this? Is it retention, onboarding, model, team, community? And by the way, if you want to work out retention, work it out on a month-to-month basis by looking at the amount of people that you had in versus the amount of people that leave, and find the difference. World class is below 3%. Aim for that and you'll be super rich. Anyway, let's talk about sales. So sales can be broken down into 3 things. Number 1 is your actual offer, right? Does it sound good? Does it sound appealing? Does it sound like a no-brainer? Every single time we work with a coach and we present, here's what we do for you, here's how it works, they literally say, this has got absolutely everything that I could even think of. I have no questions. If people have questions after the sales process, then guess what? There's something missing. Do I get this? Do I get that? What about that? It hasn't been communicated clearly. So your offer needs to sound like a fucking no-brainer. The second thing is then price point. Right, here's the truth. We aim for a 55% conversion. 55% conversion is the sweet spot. If you're at 70, 80, 90%, you probably could be charging more. If you are at 10, 20, 30%, you might be too dear. But that leads me to the next point, is skills. If you don't know how to sell, you're not going to convert. No matter how many leads you get, you're not going to convert them. So let's say, for example, if I get 10 leads in and I close 30%, let's say if I get 10 leads in and I close 60%, well, that's 6 out of 10 compared to 3 out of 10. And the lifetime value, i.e. what a customer spends over a period of time with the 6 is going to be significantly more than the 3. And that, again, boils us back to delivery, making sure that you've got a great product that keeps people. So instead of thinking you need more leads, you need to get better at sales, have a better offer, have the right price point, and have the right skill set to be able to convert the majority of people that come through to you. That is crucial. Like, nobody thinks about this. Train yourself on sales, review your sales calls, look at your sales team, coach your sales team, check their calls, review them. If you aren't doing this, you are leaving a fuck ton of money on the table, and it is risky. You're jeopardizing your marketing efforts, you're jeopardizing your marketing team, you're jeopardizing all the time and energy that you put into building marketing. And the last thing that you need to focus on is lead generation. So when it comes to sales, what out of all of that do you struggle with the most? Is your offer shit? Speak it out loud. If you can't speak your offer out loud and it doesn't sound great, then guess what? It is shit. Record it into your phone, play it back to yourself, and score yourself out of 10. Send it to your best friend and say, hey, do you understand this? Would you buy it? If they say no, it's shit. You need to fix it. That'll help you get more out of your leads. Number 2 is price. Number 3 is skills. Where are you struggling with most right now? Anyway, let's move on to leads. Lead generation. All right, first thing, I'm going to change pens. All right, is niche. Do you still love the niche that you work with? If you've outgrown them, change niche. If you want to make a ton of money, go and find the richest people in your niche with the biggest problems that are willing to pay and fix them right now, and you'll never worry about money. Number 2 is social proof. For coaches that can't get leads, guess what? You've got no social proof. You'll make the most amount of money in your business when you make the most amount of social proof and the highest quality social proof. Results, black and white. I used to watch this TV ad by Ronsil. It was like a stain for a fence, right? And the terminology on the ad was, Ronsil does exactly what it says on the tin. In fact, there might even be an advert coming up here now. But here's the thing. When you looked at it and you read it, it did exactly what it said. So when I go into your profile and do I see results? Is there social proof? If there isn't social proof, then guess what? Your product and service doesn't work, which means you have to go back to look at the delivery. All right? Message. Here's the truth about message. What you post on social media is your signal to the marketplace. So you want to be able to share the most polarizing thing that you can say that divides and conquer people. Where a bunch of people, 50% of them are like, fuck me, why did he say that? And another 50% of people are like, I'm so glad he said that. I'm so glad he shared that because that's exactly what I was thinking. Those are the people that are going to pay you. Simple as. All right. The next thing is the nurture process. Everybody's looking for, how do I generate more leads? I'm looking for 5 guys that want to. That's not going to fucking work. Right. So the nurture process can be defined as this. When a new client comes into your world, a new client, what's the first thing that you do for them for the first 30 days? When a new lead follows you, what do you do in the first 30 days? If that made you think and you went, nothing, well, that's your fucking problem. You need to bounce people between short form content, medium form content, long form content, get them on your email list, your podcast, your YouTube. If you're watching this right now and you've watched this far, you're really intentional about building a 7-figure per year profit-based business in the coaching or consulting space, or you just love my insights and thinking about business and you want to make more money, more impact, and have more freedom with your life. Totally cool. But your nurture process builds relationships with people. Lead generation just identifies them that you're the person that will potentially help. The content in between actually fuels a relationship and gets a sale. So people come to you pre-sold. The next thing and final thing is eyeballs. So when it comes to eyeballs, super important. Eyeballs are the people that see your stuff. And you've always got to be making sure that you get in front of audiences that have the pain point that you solve. Audiences that have the pain point that you solve are inside your client base. Go and ask your clients, who do you currently follow that helps you with these specific problems or the same problems that we can help you with? How did you find out about us? And go and ask to pay to get on their stages, their podcasts, their YouTube, deliver a shit ton of value and drive that traffic back towards you where they become a lead and you nurture them through all your content. Anyway, as you can see, lead generation is important, but it comes last. Which out of these areas, niche, social proof, message, nurture process, eyeballs, do you need to improve the most? And you just realize that you don't need more leads. You need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your sales first. You need to focus on your delivery. And then you need to focus on lead generation last. That is the framework that will make you a fucking fortune rather than wasting all your time and energy on this at the expense of this, and this. Don't be a fool. Learn how to think properly in business. If you are addicted to growing your business, and most importantly, focusing on building a business that allows you to live life on your terms, please make sure that you check out this next video and subscribe to this channel because there are nuggets being shared here that nobody else is talking about. Deeper level thinking, higher level results. See you in the next video.